What's going on, YouTube? How's everything? Today I'm going to be talking about the sixth principle from the third part of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, okay? The third part of the book being How to Be Influential, and the sixth principle being you always want to get somebody else to do the talking instead of you yourself having to do the talking, alright? Now, why would that be? Because generally when we think of persuasive or influential people, we think of fast talkers, smooth talkers, the silver-tongued devils, and all this stuff. However, if you think back on this, then even though if this might be true, it might be true that at some point in time you may get hornswoggled by a smooth talker or something. We always think of that with a negative connotation. So that's not what I'm suggesting here. What I'm suggesting is the complete opposite. Instead of manipulating somebody or influencing somebody or persuading somebody with through some kind of negative conniving motion, instead you simply want to be influential at your very core, alright? That's what I'm talking about. There's a big difference between being influential versus being conniving and manipulative towards just influencing somebody. There's a big difference. When you're influential at your core, people are influenced by you simply because of who you are. You don't even have to try. Granted, there's a very deep-seated and kind of meta difference about this that I probably won't be able to get into throughout this entire video. However, I will say that it's a very big difference, and I want you to think about it, okay? Now, anyway, when you are a deeply rooted, influential person, you want to get other people to do the talking. You want to basically ask people questions, get them to open up, and especially, and this is most important for influencing situations or like bartering situations. And the reason for this is because people trust other people people trust the people they know are valuable, okay? A person who gets you to talk doesn't really seem like they need anything. They're not needy. They don't really seem to need much. Instead, they just want you to open up and they want you to share. Now, somebody who's talking a lot and trying to persuade you and being, like the silver-tongued devil, that person is going to be talking fast, the fast talker, and they're trying to swindler. That person is not usually trustworthy because they're just not. But if somebody is openly and honestly, earnestly asking you questions and trying to get a better feel for who you are, this person is far more influential than the other person, okay? Now, a good example I want to give you is one from my personal experience. I was at a nightclub, I was dancing, having a great time, cutting the rug, doing the thing and all this stuff, having a blast, alright? So anyway, I get tired, as we all do. I go to the bar, I get some water to rehydrate. Standing at the bar, enjoying my water, just minding my business, people gazing, looking at all the happy faces around and everything, and three beautiful ladies, dressed, done up, all crazy with the makeups and all the hair's done and everything, expensive looking stuff. They come up to me and they start talking to me, okay? Now, these women I would assume would be out of my league. Most other people would assume this simply because that's how they looked. They looked really, really perfect and everything. And I was sweaty and all, looked like an abomination. I was just having a good time for the sake of dancing, really, because I like to dance. And they come up to me and they say, "So, we saw you dancing out there. You think you're the hot stuff, huh?" And I said, I basically was like, I didn't even really think about it. I said, "You were the ones watching me." I said, "What do you think?" And after that, they start giggling and laughing. I'm just drinking my water. I'm curious. I want to know what they think because I don't know. I don't know if I'm hot stuff. I'm just having fun. That's the truth. I have no idea. And they're like just looking at me and I guess trying to get a read on me. And I'm just enjoying my water, sip, sip, sip. And I keep looking at them because I want to know what they think. And then basically they start giggling. They look at me and they say like, "All right, you have swag." And I'm clueless about this at the time. I said, "Are you sure?" I said, "What is a swag?" "I'm not sure." I'm like, "I have a t-shirt." And they start laughing even more and all this stuff. So ultimately, I keep asking them questions. They ask me questions. I ask them more potent questions. And they end up being the one divulging their opinions. They divulge their questions. They divulge more to me than I do to them, and ultimately it's all because they simply see me as valuable. They see me as influential. I'm influencing them to share with me, and they did. So I started, and so then they said, "So, what's your name?" And I was all like, I said, "I'm Jason. What's yours?" And then they all gave me their names. And they said, so they started asking me random questions, and every time I'd bounce back at them with an even larger question. So they might have said something like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, having a good time. I said, "What are you ladies doing here?" I said, "There's 4 of you, 1 of me." They laugh again. They start sharing more information. Much of it they share nervously because they can get a deep-seated sense that I'm comfortable with who I am, what I'm doing, and I don't need anything from them. I don't want anything from them. And ultimately, if they're gonna want to give me anything like a number or a name or something, that it's just because they want to, and I don't even want it. I'm not asking for it. I don't need it. Okay? Have you ever found that to be true? That generally, for some reason, even especially like in terms of dating, you want to chase after the people who seem not to want you? It's kind of weird, right? I didn't really think this whole scenario that went down. This story I just told you. This happened maybe 5-6 years ago. At the time, I haven't really read too many books about like personal development. I hadn't read anything by Dale Carnegie. I had no idea about really what was going on. All I really knew was that I was kind of shocked that these done up looking ladies would talk to me. It was really, really awkward. I guess not awkward. It's just, I guess, curious to me because I never really thought about it. Anyway, that's the example I want to give you. And again, this has been principle number 6 from Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, from the 3rd part of the book, How to Be More Influential. Okay, and that's to be influential at your core. Again, not to simply be manipulative and conniving to influence somebody as an ends, and then after that you go back to just being some pathetic person with lots of neediness. Okay, however, you can be that person if you wish. That's your choice and that's your freedom, but I personally don't recommend it. Anyway, I hope that you all have a beautiful day, and I will be bringing the rest of the principles to you soon.